Hey there YouTube, welcome to Draco Ray Gaming. This is part 2 of increasing FPS in Warzone. Now that you've set your BIOS all good and you have unlocked the overclocking for your CPU and you verified it in Windows, we're going to get into Windows settings and how to start cleaning up your PC and getting ready to increase the FPS even more. So as usual, no BS, no fluff. Here we go. Now, this is something that you need to check first. I know it sounds stupid. I have a Windows 7 profile. It can flip-flop between Windows 10, but really all you need to do is go to power settings. So we're going to go over to the power options / settings. We want to make sure it's on high performance. We want to go to change plan settings. Now, this is preference, but we want to go to change advanced power setting. I'm talking about preference for to turn the display off, on, etc., put it to sleep, etc. It don't really matter. What matters is in what's in here. And in here, you have something called process power management. This is a huge one. And maximum processor state needs to be 100. The system cooling policy needs to be active for your fans to increase, as well as 100 here on the processor state. You want to make sure it's getting full power. It's in a high performance mode. There is a ton of stuff in Windows that will lower the performance or try to thermal change. Try to control the power, the speed of the fans, and the overall performance of Windows. There's a ton of it, and it didn't used to be like this, and most people ignore this or they just don't know about it. But this kind of stuff, every little setting you change in here is going to increase 2 FPS, 10 FPS, 20 FPS, and it's going to add up. And in the end run, you're going to end up like I am and my buddy Miggs and a bunch of the other Draconian Army members that we call ourselves when we stream gaming, ending up at 200 to 300 FPS, even more. One of my buddies is 350 FPS. Depending on your hardware and settings. But these are super critical. So make sure everything in here is at high performance, high power, and you're going to be good to go here. Now, the next thing you need to start looking at is your startup processes. I get lazy about this. I get really lazy. And then we'll switch over to the Windows 10 mode. We'll type startup. Now, startup apps. Now, this is the most basic screen, but it's really quick. You need to go through here and disable everything. And see, I had that right there. I don't even want that. That needs to stop. I only need what I need, right? My headphone settings, my mouse settings, my antivirus, and my little menu here that I have, and that's it, right? Everything else, because Warzone is so finicky, needs to be disabled. Get rid of it. Now, once you've done this and gone through here, there's also some other settings you can go to, like in msconfig. If you type msconfig down here, you can go in here. Now, if you go to boot, and services and startup, you need to go through here, especially services, right? Because we kind of went through startup already. You need to go through services and anything that you don't use. Look at all these services that are running, right? So what you can actually click is hide all Microsoft services, dumb down that list, start going through everything in here, right? Like whatever it is. Like I had so many things in here that I don't need, like even easy anti-cheat. I don't need that right off the bat. I don't need, say, NVIDIA broadcast. I don't need that right now if I'm not using it, unless I'm using it for a microphone vocal filter. Origin, if I'm not playing Origin. My Razer Chroma stuff for my like LEDs and my RGBs, that's fine. Rockstar Game Service, like Samsung mobile stuff for your phone, like Steam Cloud, like you name it. There's a ton of stuff in here. If you don't need it, you need to go ahead, disable it, click apply, click OK, reboot your PC, so it'll ask you. I'm going to exit without restart right now because I'm still teaching you and showing you guys kind of what to do. But we've gone through power settings. We've gone through startup settings. We've gone through background services that are allowed to run at all times during your PC. Also check down here, because sometimes I go into the menu, and even in the task menu bar, there'll be things in there that you actually manually have to open the application, go in there, and tell it not to open. Like say settings, and then tell it go to general or whatever, and tell it not to open when starting Windows or your PC or during. I've even seen settings for log on or log off where it tries to get you, or it tries to relaunch itself and then take up resources from getting you FPS on Warzone. I hope this helped you out get more FPS in Warzone, and part 3 is coming. As usual, no BS, no fluff. And here I go. See you next time.